Pow! Welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. My name is Dan W. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. Today, our Marvel Legends reviews continue with this Man-Thing Build-A-Figure wave, aka Marvel Knights, aka the Marvel Netflix wave. Today, we're reviewing Elektra from Marvel's Netflix Daredevil Season 2. Very much look forward to opening this. I've already reviewed Daredevil and Punisher, so she is the last in the trio from that Pacific season on Netflix, and she comes with an alternative head that looks very much like the actress herself, I actually think. A Build-A-Figure piece of Man-Thing, some weapons. So yeah, without further ado, let's have a look at the box and open her up. Graphic on the side of Elektra. On the box she has a little read up, and as always there's a list of all the figures in this wave we need to complete the Man-Thing Build-A-Figure. Today we're reviewing Elektra. Another picture on the side. So yeah, without further ado, let's open her up and see what she's like. Pow! And here she is out of the box, and first impressions is, yeah, I like it. It's a very simple character design, so there wasn't much to get wrong, and yeah, I like it. A lot of people have been complaining that these arms are a bit bulky, and now I've got it open, I sort of see what you mean. Her forearms do look quite thick for a female character. Annoyingly, it's still only single jointed elbows for a female character. It's a shame for someone like Elektra, who you'd want to get in all these martial arty poses. You can't actually get double jointed elbows, so that's still frustrating from Hasbro, but I genuinely think we're not going to get that on female figures, as they think it ruins the female look. But yeah, we get two heads, which I'll show you the second one in a minute. But other than that, a very simple design, but accurate to the show. So as I mentioned, she comes with a Build-A-Figure piece for Man-Thing. Obviously, stay tuned to the channel. I will be reviewing Man-Thing once I've finished with this wave. So subscribe, find the playlist, all of that good stuff. I'll be reviewing Man-Thing last. She also comes with an alternative head, which I'll show a closer look of in a minute and actually put it on the figure and whatnot. And I reckon it does look like the actress as well. Elodie Young, I believe the actress's name. I may have butchered that. I apologise if I have. But yeah, we'll look at that in a minute. And she also comes with two blades. I think they're called Psy blades. Hang on, stand up. Yeah, they're called Psy blades, I believe. I could be getting that wrong as well. Standard ninja blades. I call them the weapons from Raphael and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's how I recognise them. But I do think they're called Psy blades or twin Psys or whatever. But yeah, they're all the accessories, and she can hold both of these in each hand. Not a problem. I think, yeah, no alternative hands or anything with her, but as I said, she holds both of these. And this hand, interestingly enough, has like, I don't know if I can get it on camera without it going out of focus, but you see like the sort of grippy fingers, and I believe that is so you can put the weapon in and she can hold it a little bit quirkily. So again, I don't know how well that will focus on camera, but you see how she's holding that a little bit different. Now, I'm not a martial artist at all, so I don't know if that is the correct way to hold it, but she is definitely molded that way, so she can hold it like that. So yeah, someone who's actually got a bit of knowledge, tell me, is that the correct way you get to hold a weapon? I suppose or assume it is, as that is how the hands are molded. But yeah, my knowledge is pretty lackluster. So let's zoom in on the face and see if we can get some details. Pow, so here's a closer look at the head sculpt. This one is with the sort of the neckerchief sort of covering the lower portion of her face, and unlike the silk figure, that isn't like removable, that's actually on the face. But hopefully you could put the silk neckerchief on, which I'll try when I start doing some comparisons. But it does look like Hasbro have used that sort of digital face scan that they've been bragging about recently to put the character's face on. It should show a lot better in the second head scan. Here's a closer look of the second head scan that we've got for this character. I'm glad they did give us an alternative head without the sculpted mask. And does it look like the actor? I said her name was Elodie Young. Again, I could be completely wrong. But I think it does resemble the character, definitely on certain angles as well. It does look like Hasbro have used their new technique as well. Her cheeks are a little bit rosy, but other than that, I do think it does resemble the actor. So again, fair play to Hasbro. much better face sculpt than some of the female figures that we've got in the past couple of years. So they're definitely upping their game. So fair play to Hasbro. But in regards to a close up to the rest of the figure, there isn't really much to show. As I mentioned earlier, her hand is sculpted in a way to hold her sai that way, I believe. And then the rest is just her jeans. All black, no real paint details. Again, there's nothing on the back. Boots, again, nothing on them. Just that tiny bit of red on the gloves and on the top of the neck. So yeah, not a lot to show. Oh, and I've gone out of focus. But yeah, that's all the character is, to be fair. That is what the character design is, so we can't complain. So again, my only gripe is really the lack of articulation on the elbows. Again, it's a female figure from Hasbro, so we shouldn't expect anything less. I apologise, my camera is being a knob. So yeah, let's compare her to some other female figures, shall we? Here's Elektra compared to some more recent Hasbro female Marvel Legends. Some decent ones as well, to be fair. We've got Mary Jane and then we have Silk as well. A lot of people were using this Silk to sort of customise their own Elektra, as the head is very similar. As I've mentioned already, Mary Jane fell. As I mentioned already, Silk's, we did get an alternative Silk head where she had the sort of bandana across the mouth, and so does this version of Silk. So could we use this on Elektra if you wanted a more comic looking figure rather than, oh, this head is a bit tight, rather than using the Elodie Young style head? Now, this is the first time we're doing this, and it does click on. You did hear it snap, but now it looks like she has no neck. Possibly this head is a bit too big for this figure, but I'm guessing you could make it work. Yeah, if you wanted to. The red's a little bit different, but again, not a big deal. I've always liked the blue tint in her hair, to be fair, but I don't think that is very accurate to Elektra. But if you wanted to, that is just an option. Again, will the other heads fit? I'm sure it will. What I want to try is simply putting this neckerchief onto Elektra with the unbandanaed face, just as a little added accessory. Oh, I'm really scared about breaking that peg in the neck. Keep pulling. I should really warm the figures up, shouldn't I? So there you go. I was just curious to see if that would work, and it does work if you wanted to have that as a look. The neckerchief from Silk on the unmasked Elektra head. So it looks like she's just unmasked after battle. But in regards to size, she is about the same size as Mary Jane. So yeah, quite a decent figure. And here's Elektra compared to the only other two figures that I've already reviewed in this wave, with Daredevil and Punisher. I think she scales quite well, and it is amazing to see these three figures actually now in person after watching the second series of Daredevil just last year. Just a year later, we have them in Marvel Legends form. It's amazing, and I really do like all the head sculpts. Again, the only major gripe I have with Elektra, talking about my final thoughts now, is just, yeah, definitely, I've seen a lot of people talk about it on Instagram, and now I've got it in person. The lower arms do feel, her whole arm looks very bulky. I'm sure this girl has some strength, but it doesn't really look very feminine for a figure. Her arms are just very bulky, especially considering we haven't got double jointed elbows. Surely if they were going to have them that thick, we could have had double jointed elbows. But that's probably my major gripe. Other than that, I have no issues. I don't see what else Hasbro could have done. They've gave us the interchangeable head, which I quite like. We've got some weapons. So yeah, no complaints. Really like this Elektra figure. She is going to fit nicely in my MCU section. But I've been talking long enough. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that like, leave me a comment, and I shall see you on the next one.